anything to him. And one day, Rich looked at Jay and said, "We ought to start our own business. We ought to be in business for ourselves. We ought to just get out there and become an entrepreneur." And they got excited. Jay looked at Rich and said, "That's a great idea. Let's do it." Now it's funny. I had a lunch with Rich probably 15 to 20 years ago, and he made the comment that he goes, "My parents were really incredible people. They're uplifting, positive to us, encouraging to us. Our friends and relatives were all wonderful people, but they all laughed at us. And my own dad, who was just my biggest hero, said, 'You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. I can't believe you're even considering doing that,' especially back then. It's still true today, but even back then, you had the unions and things like that to protect you. And the big deal was to go to school and get a good job and work for another large company somehow, some way. And but they started their own business. They did it anyways. Now, don't be too impressed. It was probably a little hamburger stand, made out of cardboard. I'm sure the hamburgers tasted like cardboard. In fact, I've heard that from a handful of people that actually tasted them back then. And Rich DeVos and Jay Bonanno are dead today. They're in heaven, but they were in their 90s and they did a lot of things in their life. And they started a business. And one day, Rich looked at Jay and he said, "We should start a business where we actually help people do what we did, because there's nothing out there that does that. We weren't taught this in school. We were just ambitious, and through reading and things like that, we decided we should own our own business. We should start a business that teaches people how to own their own business." And they did. And not only did they do it, it became one of the most successful businesses in all of America. Now it's in 110 countries and territories around the world. And they called it the Amway Corporation. And it's called the American Way, the American Way. Amway, the American Way. And they absolutely have exploded. They have done a business that has done tens and tens of billions of dollars of volume. They've paid back over $60 billion in profits. Just confirm that today, because it keeps going up. And I don't know what that means to you, but that blew my mind. My brother was going to school, in medical school, was there 8 to 10 years, roughly, give or take, becoming an ears, nose, and throat plastic surgeon, and did everything he was supposed to do, gave up all the fun things in his life just so he could become a doctor. Everybody in our family thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Oh, Greg's gonna be a doctor. And I can remember him sitting there being all serious about it. And one day, a cousin of his sat down and showed him this business that Rich DeVos and Jay Bonanno put together a long time ago. And my brother got so excited that he called me up. I was at Montana State University. Greg was finishing up. He was at Vanderbilt, and he was finishing up at the University of Washington in his residency. And he called me up and he said, "Brad, I don't really care what kind of date you have going on. I really don't care what kind of test you have tomorrow. I don't care what kind of party you're going to tomorrow." He goes, "I want you to get in your car and drive to Seattle. I found a way to be successful. I found a way to be an entrepreneur." And he goes, "I'm going to blow your mind." Kind of weird, because I always used to be the kind of guy that would go, "Well, what's it all about? What's going on?" But I was looking for an opportunity in my life. I was looking for a way to be successful in my life. And so I got in my little car. I've never been out of Montana. I know that's weird. And I drove all the way to Seattle. He might as well said Russia. That was just as close in my opinion. And I got all the way over to Seattle. And back then, we didn't have GPS. You check wires so funny. You go, "I'm lost. Tell me how to get there." We had things called maps, and we had telephone books. And when we got lost, we had to go find a phone booth. And I finally found my brother's little teeny apartment that was underneath another apartment halfway underground. They were hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. His beautiful wife, Lori, was a dental hygienist, just trying to help them get through some of their debt. And my brother had a full beard. I had a full beard at the time. And I can remember walking to my brother's apartment when I finally found it. We started hugging each other. My brother got all emotional. And heck, I'm the big baby of the family. I really got emotional when I saw him got emotional. And it took us half an hour to untangle our beards. And we sat there and laid on the carpeting. And his little apartment, in fact, I still have itches, some kind of disease from laying on that carpet in his apartment a long time ago. And my brother showed me what I'm going to show you tonight. I can remember looking at the wall, and there's a great big clock on the wall. And I can remember looking at the clock, and it said 5 o'clock a.m. And I can remember sitting there looking at my brother going, "My gosh, it's 5 o'clock
thinking because if these guys are open for everybody,
And I
then
can
they
remember
might
my brother
put
saying, "You know what? When you have a dream, time doesn't matter.
Partner
And Julie and I have shared that with millions of people in our lifetime as we've traveled the world and educated people how to be entrepreneurs and how to own their own business. And it's been interesting. Tonight I'm going to speak to you assuming that you're a person who is looking for something. I'm going to assume that you're here tonight because you want to do more out of life. I'm going to assume that you're here tonight because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. See, I got to a point in my life where I just got sick and tired of being 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 sick and tired. I got sick and tired of being broke. I got sick and tired of laying in bed and lying to myself that I was doing okay. My friends would always say, how's it going? And I'd go, great. And I just kept lying through life. And then 2 years would go by, and 5 years would go by, and 10 years would go by. And I was still frustrated. I was still broke. I wasn't even close to where I wanted to be. Now I wanted to travel. I wanted to do things in my life. You know, I mean, I don't know what you want to do in life. I don't want you to go to Paris. I want you to go to Paris 38 times. And I think if you think you're going to do that, what you've done in the last 3 to 5 months, personally, I think you're kidding yourself. Now, don't misunderstand me. Whatever you all do, I'm sure you're very good at what you do, and I'm sure you're very successful at what you do. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. There's nothing wrong with being involved in a job. There's nothing wrong with being a boss. There's nothing wrong with having a boss. But I was the kind of guy, I was a lot more like Rich DeVos. I didn't want to have a boss. Not that there's anything wrong with being a boss. I just didn't want to have a boss. I wanted to be my own boss. And that's what I love about America, because in America you have choices. Some of you will choose to continue to be employed, and some of you will choose to be entrepreneurs. Some of you will choose to have a boss and not be a boss, and some of you are going to choose to be a boss. I didn't want to do a lot of those things. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to participate in a free enterprise system, which is what I love about the Amway Corporation. And those men taught my brother and I and my wife, they taught us how to be in business for ourselves. One of the coolest things I can tell you all night long, being in business for ourselves. And I have been excited about it from day one. My wife and I have given each other five, given each other kisses, given each other hugs so many times, and boy, your mind over just that scene. Can you believe that we're in business for yourself and we're part of the free enterprise system in America? And you only live once, you can do whatever you want to do. And I wanted to win, I just wanted to succeed in life. You know, people get in this business at all different levels, and everybody has different successes depending on their personality and how hard they're willing to work. Julie and I worked hard in this business. We worked very hard. I got involved in this business when I was 22. I was drinking beer and having a good time and giggling and laughing and going to college and snow skiing and fishing and doing silly things that, in my opinion, never ever benefited my future, which is kind of typical. And that was me. I'm guilty as everything I'm going to share with you tonight. Don't take anything personal tonight, because everything I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm guilty of. And you need to know that. I'm just using my life as the example tonight to explain this. This is my testimony tonight. That's really what it is. And it's a great testimony, because I went from really nothing to something, and I'm just getting going. Julie Marie and I are just starting to really get rolling. It doesn't matter. I love this business because it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 18, it doesn't matter if you're 85. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're single. It doesn't matter if you're married. It doesn't matter. We've helped thousands of people through the worldwide system, helped thousands of single women, thousands of single men, tens of thousands of couples get in business for themselves. Some have built large businesses, some have stayed and built little businesses. You can do whatever you want to do. The cool thing about the Amway Corporation is they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of products that they manufacture. They manufacture and ship them around the world, and they're all products that pretty much really all of us really use. They're called commodity products. It's been interesting this last 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks about toilet paper. Well, I've never had a problem getting toilet paper because we have that through this business, and I just have it shipped to my door, and I get it in 3 or 4 days. It's been great. So I don't have to get about 2,000 of them in my warehouse. You know, of course, I don't have a warehouse. My warehouse is my closet. But I just want you to know the coolest thing about this business is there's 2 things to it. It's simple. That's what I love about this business. It's a balanced business, I call it. There's a thing called the retail side, and there's like any business in America, and there's a side where you actually can be an owner. There's a side of the business where you help people become clients and help them and serve them and give them the best products in the world. It's really cool because I don't have to convince them to do it. That's why I don't have to be a salesman, because they already use the product. I find when people get a better deal, a better value, and you service them even better than anything else out there, they get excited about it. I find most of the people that are clients of mine are already friends and relatives, and they just love servicing our business and participating in what we do. And then there's another side of the business. It's called an IBO, an independent business owner, where you actually own your own business. That's the part I get so excited about, because I love to teach people. Julie and I have been so excited for 39 years of our life helping other people be in business for themselves. And it just thrills me that I have the opportunity to be able to offer people that opportunity. Some people get in this business and make $50 a year, $100 a year. There's some people get in this business and make, $300 to $400 to $500, $600 a month. I know it's not a lot of money, but I mean, it's an extra $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year.
It's
I
not
like
for
to look at
everyone.
people when they go, well, that's not very much money.
Yeah,
I go, when's the last time you got a $5,000
just have to be kind
raise?
of
That's a
first
lot
we
of
listen to
money.
it
My gosh,
and
if
then
your
we plug
boss
in
came up
actually.
tomorrow and said, I want to give you a $5,000 raise, you'd probably say, no, there's a guy last night that tried to tell me that.
Yeah,
That's
that
stupid.
person.
No, you wouldn't. If your boss came up to you tomorrow and said, I want to give you a $5,000 raise, you just might have something on the floor that's wet. You would get so fired up.
I think it's
You
just
would
good to
get
actually
so
have
turned on.
actual
You would
actually.
email everybody you know.
just
You would
what-
text everybody you know. You would social media everybody you know and say, I just got a $5,000 raise. It's rare. But especially when it's your business and it's your profit from what you did, it's a whole nother world when that happens. Some of you are ambitious and want to make, $5,000 a month. Some of you want to do more. The potential in this business is unbelievable. I will tell you that most people that ever get involved in this business never do anything, just like an athletic club. Every friends and casual acquaintances that I have that own athletic clubs, work at athletic clubs, or managers of athletic clubs, if I meet somebody next month that has somebody in an athletic club, I'll ask them this question every time. To
There's
make
a
sure
lot of
that
words,
these answers are so
what
fresh.
Dom mentioned
I go, how many
in
people
that
remember your
phrase and he
athletic
is
club?
using it.
They'll say a few hundred, or
New people can
2,000 or
get
3,000 or
easily
5,000 or whatever they say. And I look at them and I say, well, how many of the people that are members actually come to the athletic club and work out? And he goes, oh, gosh, I don't know, maybe 20 to 25%, 30% pushing it. And I go, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, what's
My
that on the-
favorite
I
people
see already
are the
thinking.
ones who pay every month that never come. They
Yeah,
don't
they
wear
do
out
that,
the
like-
equipment. And I go, well, why do they keep paying? He said, because they want to come and work out. They really believe they're going to work out. And they keep believing it and believing it. They'd love to drive down the street in a car with one of their friends and sit there and point at the athletic club and say, that's my athletic club. I'm a member. And they love to say that. They show up at Christmas, right after Christmas, with their new leotards and their new tennis shoes, and they're so fired up, overweight. And they show up and they go over to the protein bar, he says, the Danish bar, the protein shake bar. And he goes, they sit there and talk with everybody. They might look at a treadmill, and I don't even know if they really get on it. He goes, and then they're gone for another year. He said, but they hardly ever do anything. I said, well, how about people that really come and work out? I mean, they're really consistent. The ones who do it right, the ones who are consistent. I mean, they're 4 or 5, 6 times a week. They spend time. They're not gabbing. They really work out. They're sopping wet when they're done. He goes, oh, 2 to 3%. I said, everybody? He goes, oh yeah. I said, that sounds like my business. And not only does it sound like our business, let me tell you something. I have found that to be true in every business in society. And the thing is, I've had more people say, well, Amway doesn't work. Well, actually it does. It's been proven for 60-some years. I have a lot of people come up to me and say, I hear Amway's a pyramid. Well, I hear that your job's a pyramid. Well, I don't know if I'd ever be an Amway. Well, I would never do what you do either. So it just kind of depends on how you think, who you listen to. I like to hang around people that are financially successful, that have really built incredible Amway businesses, and they say,
It actually definitely makes sense to have
people as they drink beer with their friends or go to a Seahawks game or whatever. They say, what do you know about Amway? And then they all that stupid, it's pyramid. So they go, okay. And so they choose to listen to people that aren't living the way they want to live. So let me just share something with you, because Julie and I are a huge believer in association. Whatever you
This
hang
looks
around
good
with,
actually. I think
we're
you can
huge
have
believers in that.
time to
I
time
think you'll
actually.
find out that if you read any success books by people who are actually
You can
successful,
actually time to time you can
wrote a book,
Platinum
made a lot of
symbol or
money in a
something
book,
like that.
which
you
most
just share
people,
that
I have a lot of people who say something, I go, where did you hear that? And they go, I read it. And I go, well, just so you know, just because you read it doesn't mean
And
it's
it
right.
is
Most people who
faceless,
write
they
books
act
are
like
idiots,
they just
so be
pay for
careful of that.
Right.
For a
But
couple of
when you read a
months.
book from somebody that
Right.
actually has success
Right.
behind their belt, they tend to think a little bit different, walk a little bit
अच्छा,
different, move a
वो
little
जो
bit.
है download ऐप करनी है actually.
And I'm interested in listening to what they have to say. And they talk a lot about association. I think you're going to find out in many, many ways that it's the biblical thing. It's amazing when you understand the power of association. You hang around a robber, you're going to be a robber. All my bad habits of my life came from association. All of my good habits came from association. So I can direct association. I tell most people, they say, how did you become so successful? I said, I changed my association. You want to be successful, I always tell them. I say, you need to learn how to say no to your drugs, which typically is friends and bad habits you have, and you have to learn how to get around successful people. The gift that Julie and I have for you tonight is really your kind of association. You get around with the people we're associating with, people who are going to share with you tonight, they're going to blow your mind. You get around people that have made a difference in other people's lives and have really done something in their life. When you get around the successful people in our life, I believe it will change your whole life. It's amazing. You hang around people that are on meth, you're probably going to be on meth. If you smoke pot in here, not to judge that, I really don't care whether you smoke pot or not. I don't really care. But I will tell you this, if you smoke pot, my guess is your 2 to 3 best friends smoke pot. If you don't smoke pot, my guess is you don't hang around people that smoke pot. You know, I mean, good things and bad things about everybody. If you have a foul mouth, I used to have a foul mouth. But if you have I used to work construction. I hung around guys 8 to 10 hours a day that had a foul mouth, and I had a foul mouth. If you have a foul mouth, I'm not mad at you. I said worse than you. But I tell you, if you have a foul mouth, my guess is your 2 to 3 best friends have a foul mouth. If you don't have a foul mouth, my guess is you hang around a lot of people that don't have a foul mouth. If you're a Democrat, my guess is your parents are probably Democrats. If you're a Republican, my guess is your parents are Republicans. I'm not here to play Democrat or Republican, but isn't that amazing? Association is everything. If you're broke and you're not making it, your patients are Tri-Cities and you don't even know what the world's all about, my guess is you hang around a lot of people that do that type of thing. You probably like to camp and you probably like tailgating and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. I like those things. I think they're great. But when I was doing all that, I was hanging around people that were tailgating and people that were camping. When I started getting around successful people, and I actually started learning how to spell Europe, I mean, it's amazing how my whole life changed because they talked about it and they actually went and did it. And so my brain went there. And I'll say it again, the gift I really have for you tonight is the power of association. When you see a thing coming up called leadership, coming up here at the very end of this month, beginning of next month, it's called leadership. I would encourage you to listen to it. I would encourage you to get around it. It's going to be on a weekend, so it doesn't interfere with your job if you're back at work or whatever, and I would just encourage you to listen to it. I think it's going to blow your mind. It's just fascinating listening to people that are making things happen. And again, you know, I'm assuming that you're listening to this Zoom here, you're listening to this podcast because you're wanting to change. You're in a situation where you're kind of tired of being controlled by somebody else, and if something doesn't happen, you could lose your job, you could lose your income. I wanted to have something that I had more control of.
So I don't know what we can do, I'm just saying that I will be glad to do it.
We have control of this income.
Maybe some
It all has to do
arrangement
with our effort and our attitude, 100%. But you know, I'll remind you about 10 times in this little special talk here that, you know, there's 2 parts of a business, and it's important for you to really understand that. 2 parts.
Yeah,
It's a balanced business. It's kind of cool, it's balanced. There's a thing called retail, and there's a thing called personal use. There's a thing called retail and a thing called IBO. You have to have clients to make money from being an IBO and making money by personal use. If you don't have retail customers, then you can't make money from your business. And I would encourage you to have a dozen clients. I would encourage you to sponsor and help a dozen people become an IBO. And, you know, a balanced business, 12-12. If you help somebody become an IBO, well, then you can help them do what you've done. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has different attitudes. Everybody has different temperaments. Everybody has different drives. So I'm not just going to say that anybody can do everything that I've done. You know, they say I'm one out of a million, which is hard to believe because I couldn't get their school. I've done everything wrong you could possibly think of. My parents prayed for me every single night until I was growing up. I had nothing special.
We shouldn't open to everyone.
Most people didn't know about Julie and I. We were
if they would have opened it, then it's going to be big. I mean, they would have been getting it for them.
We were sick and tired of being sick and tired of being broken.
But it's still a good mindset to
sick
learn,
and tired
right?
of
Someone
having
who was a
Good mindset, you talk good
we
about
had no
influence.
answer how to pay
Yeah.
it off.
However, I think new
We
people who have
wanted
questions
to
in
do
mind
great things.
might have
You know,
more
sit there and
questions.
read all these magazines, listen to the rich and famous on TV, listen to all this stuff, look at everything on YouTube of everybody doing this and that, and we kept looking at each other going, well, how come we don't do stuff like that? You know? Gosh, when I saw this business, because one of the great excuses in America is that, you know, it takes money to make money, and since I don't have any money, I guess that's why we're broke, and it's kind of everybody's excuse why we play Xbox and why we are on social media, you know. The biggest excuse of success is we don't have time. The average person in society spends over 5 hours a day on social media and texting, and the excuse is we don't have time. I'm not even on social media, so I can tell you I spend a lot more time on things that benefit my future.
I think if
than
you want
things
to
that
open
don't. So
for
it's just,
tomorrow,
it's choices.
we can, but then we can have some
Julie and I
I mean,
chose to be around successful
set the
people. We
stage.
chose to be around people that
No,
were
they
kicking
won't
butt.
touch
We
you.
chose people that were successful in the Amway business because we chose to be
साइकिल
involved
ने
in
पूछो
the
जरा
Amway
if
business.
you can
So
open
we
it.
chose to
बाकी
hang
लोगों को
around
पूछो
people that
भैया.
were successful at that. Have some people say, well, my mom told me that, you know, your dad had an uncle that was involved in the Amway business and he never made any money. Well, you know, I hear this kind of stuff all the time, and I go, well, let's break it down, you know. Let's break it down. Let's break this down. Okay, let's see. The uncle, he didn't make any money. He quit. So my guess is he's still broke, and my guess is he's still a quitter. If we're betting, I would bet I'm probably right. And we keep comparing ourselves to other people that really aren't successful or have never done anything. It's like social media. Look what I pulled up on social media. Look what everybody says on social media. Why, do you think multimillionaires hang out on social media? It's people that aren't going anywhere, in my opinion, and we listen to them like crazy. If you want to hear lists call up stuff that are more negative on things that make a difference in life than positive, look, Jesus Christ, on find a bunch of positive stuff. If you're a negative person, you're going to look for what's negative about it. If you're a positive person, you're going to look for what's positive about it. You pull up Donald Trump. You're going to have to choose. There's a lot of negative about Donald Trump. You're going to spend your time looking at the positive things, or you're going to choose to find the negative things. Hillary Clinton, there's a ton of negative things about Hillary Clinton. Are you going to find the positive things, or are you going to find the negative things? You can do whatever you want to do. Julie and I chose to find the positive things about why this thing is so ridiculously cool. There's thousands of products in this business because Amway Corporation networks with other blue chip corporations all the way from Microsoft all the way to Home Depot, all the way to Nike, all the way to a lot of different companies, dozens and dozens of different service corporations. And those companies, we have access to. And so what's weird is when people come up to me and say, well, it's just not for me, I'm not really interested. And I always look at people and go, well, you already do what I do. This is fascinating to me. You already do what I do. You already use what I use. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how positive or how big of a negative person you are. You still use everything I use. Now, you're either going to buy it you go down and buy gasoline, take time out of your day to go get it and buy it, or you're going to buy it from yourself and make money. And again, you can make money from yourself because you're an IBO, because you have clients. And you want to make sure that you're servicing those clients. I think it's really going to surprise you that your clients is really one of the most fun parts of this business, because most of your IBOs, which is what our focus is in this business, most of them from being clients. People who use the product are blown away by it because Amway products are rated number one. They are unbelievable how great they are. Most of them are rated number one in consumer magazines. And Amway Corporation has a 5-star rating. And so they start getting curious as they use the amazing things that we have. I mean, did you know that nutrition is one of the biggest industries in the world? Did you know cosmetics are one of the biggest industries in the world? And these are just two little markets out of dozens and dozens and hundreds of different things that we have in this business.
Do you think it's a good idea to do?
Cosmetics, if you watch TV, a big major chunk of the commercials on TV every day have to do with cosmetics, nutrition, health, and fitness. Isn't that interesting? Did you know Amway Corporation owns the largest nutrition company in the world? Did you know that? Did you know they're the only nutrition company that doesn't have any long-term debt? Did you know that's the only nutrition company that doesn't have any stockholders? You know, public stockholders? Did you know that? Did your friends forget to tell you that part as you were slamming down your brewski and them telling you it was a pyramid? What was it? Be careful, because it's amazing how you can hear one or two things from somebody you do know and make a decision just like that could change hurt your future when you put in second grade. I get that because I came really close listening to my buddies. I came real close listening to relatives. My own parents even looked at me and said, well, be careful, that's a pyramid. And then my parents got involved because they saw how well we were doing, and they got involved. And my dad owned half a dozen multi-million-dollar companies, and my dad sold his companies and built this business. After 2 years of building this business part-time, he was working over 100 hours a week running his other companies. His major corporation was a construction company, and then he had a steel company, and he had leasing companies, and he had different things like that. And he sold them after 2 years part-time in this business because it was making so much money. Pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable. After 4 years, he was doing so well in this business, and that he was making more money than he took 30 years making in his other businesses. Is that rare? Yeah, that's rare. You got to be ambitious to be an entrepreneur, to live in the top big percentage in this, or the small percentage of this country. You got to be pretty ambitious. I'm not smart. I couldn't get through school. I think I got a 2.4 once, and that's because I was in home ec and a couple other things that particular quarter. But I'm not smart. Had a hard time getting through. But nobody realized I was ambitious. I was a dreamer. I wanted to win. Things I wasn't good at, I found a way to be able to delegate it or learn from somebody else. But I was willing to do whatever it took. And that's what I'm looking for here. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. You that get it, I'm looking forward to getting to know you. We're going to be in business together. And I am thrilled about that. Cosmetics, you know, Amway Corporation owns the largest online cosmetic company in the world. I'm not even into cosmetics. 90% of the women use cosmetics. Half the people in our business are women. If you own a Ford dealership, are you going to drive a Chevrolet? I mean, why do they use this? Why would I buy that? Well, because if you're an IBO and it's your business, well, then you're going to buy it because it's your business. That's like saying, how come that guy drives a Chevrolet? My dad would say, well, he's a Chevrolet dealer. And I went, yeah, but you told me he was rich. And I go, I know, honey, but he's a Chevrolet dealer. So it doesn't matter how rich he is, he's not going to drive a Mercedes because he's not a Mercedes-Benz dealer. And I get the biggest kick out of that. Well, I just don't know if I want to do this because I don't know if the product's good. Well, I can tell you right now, a lot of the American-made cars, a lot of other cars that people sell, I don't think they're that good either. But if you're an owner of that car company, you're going to drive the car because it's your business. We have energy drinks, we have water. I mean, do you know how much water we all drink? I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. Now we have bottled water. I'm so excited about it. It's unbelievable. It's called Perfect Water. And it's the only water, my understanding, in the whole world that is purified 15 times. And it's hard to believe that it tastes good, but it actually will blow your mind how good it tastes. It doesn't really matter. I don't care if it didn't taste good. You know why I buy it? Because it's my product. Isn't that amazing? But it is incredible. And it's amazing, out of the tens of thousands of people that are just in our business, well, they all drink roughly 2 to 3 bottles a day. I drink 7, 8, 9, 10 bottles a day. I try to be healthy. I try to drink over a gallon of water a day. I take a lot of nutrition products. That's why I'm a swimsuit model part-time. But I want you to know that if you want to do that too, that's a whole other subject. I can show you how to do that. So thank you for laughing. I appreciate that. I can't hear you, but I'm sure you're just cracking up right now. So, you know, you're good people. And I know God doesn't make junk, and everybody on this Zoom can do anything that you want to if you want to bad enough. Most of you won't get this. Most of you will not see this, and that's okay with me. But some of you are sick and tired of getting sick and tired, and some of you want to do more out of life. Let me just show you this real quick. Let's see. Let me just check the time here. Okay. I have 2 things in my life. I have a thing called home, and I have a thing called work. I'm going to show you some things that really hit me when I first saw this. They were just little teeny illustrations. I never saw anybody in school ever show me this. I saw this from somebody who was really successful, and they said to me, there's a thing called home and a thing called work, and I went round and 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 round. 2-week vacation. Does it bother anybody on here? Anybody? That you work your fanny off all day long, 5 days a week, for 60 years of your life. Does it bother anybody here that you work all year long and you get 2 weeks off? Does that bother you? A lot of people ask me, why do you think you're successful? I said, because that bothered me. So I did something about it. That's why I love this business, because my wife and I grabbed hands and we did something about it. And we built it down. You would not believe that thousands of times, no exaggeration, how many people say we're lucky. And I'm not lucky. You got the same deal I got. You got the same opportunity I got. When I got in this business, I was making $100 after my first month, and there were people on stage that were so successful, it was unbelievable, and I thought, my gosh, could I ever do that? I had a full beard, I was chewing Copenhagen, I was weird, I was drinking beer, it was like it was going out of style. And I sat there and looked up there, and my brother and another mentor of mine said, you can do this, Brett. And I'm so slow, I believed him. Well, times have gone by. And every one of those people on that stage that were very successful, Julie and I now make more money than they do. Now, how is it possible that Julie and I can make more money than them if it's a pyramid? That's what I love about this business, because it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter when you start, you can make more money than the person who is helping. The more money you make, the more money they make, but yet you can make more money than them. And that's what I love about this. Can you make more money than your boss? Can you make more money than the corporation, the owner of your corporation? Well, in my opinion, that's what a pyramid is. And that's why I will never have a job, because I just don't believe in that stuff. I love this. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job. I don't want you to misunderstand me. If you love your job, I encourage you, I applaud you, congratulations. I think it's great. But that wasn't for Julie and I. And that's why I love this business. It didn't cost me money. I have never borrowed a penny. Now, listen to me. I've never borrowed a penny in my life. Julie has never borrowed a penny in her life that had anything to do with building this business. That's an amazing statement. It takes money to make money. Really? I was making $7.40 an hour when I saw this. I sold my fishing pole, I sold my .22 rifle, I sold my golf clubs, I sold my guitar. I didn't really have a guitar, I just like to say that. It makes me feel like I'm talented. And I got rid of a bunch of stuff. I lived with my cousin, slept on the floor for 7 months, and I was scared. And everybody laughed at me. I don't even know how I ate. I don't even know how I bought enough gas to get to work. But after 11 months in this business, because I was serious about it, because I worked it, after 11 months, I was making 3 to 4 times as much money in this business than I was my job. And I chose to quit my job. Now, you don't have to. Most people build this as a secondary or a third income. Maybe you just want to make an extra few $100. Maybe you want to make a lot of money. It just depends on what you want to do. The potential in the business is huge. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to say it again. Millions and millions of people have gotten in this business and never made it money. It's because they quit and because they didn't do anything, just like the athletic clubs. So don't misunderstand that. And the more you get around it, the more excited I think you'll get. I believe in that because I think this thing is so awesome. I didn't want to play this game. This is called a rut. The difference between this and a grave is the length of it, and I didn't want to play that game. So I'll just finish up and show you something real simple. The person who invited you here tonight, they're going to share this with you in the next 24, 48 hours. They'll sit down, you'll have a Zoom conversation where you can look at both of you and communicate with each other until this situation that we're all in gets over with. But this is a thing called a business overview sheet. Let me put that up there so it's a little closer. It's a business overview sheet. It's 4 pages long. It's very simple. Again, it's one of the big things I love about this business because it's simple. There's nothing more to this business than this. Everything that there is in this business is right here. None of it is simple. We drew it on here to look like second grade level, so no matter who you are, everybody can understand this. That's why we love this business, because it's one of the big reasons my family loves it so much, is because it doesn't judge you by your education, it doesn't judge you by your past, it doesn't judge you what color you are, it doesn't judge you whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. It just says, do you have a dream? Do you want to do more? Do you want to have more? Do you want to accomplish more? Do you want to help more people? Which is the big reason my family built this, because we love helping people. People say, why do you still do this with your success? And I go, yes, you got to get around it to understand it. We're going to do this to the day we die. I tell people, you come to my funeral, I'm going to be laying in my coffin like this with a marker in my hand. We love helping people. And it's amazing how this plan gives people opportunity, and we love that. So this is my favorite thing. First time I saw this, a guy named Dave Severn showed this to me and my brother. And we were in a room. I had a full beard, a t-shirt with a baseball cap on, and he drew this up. And if there's anything that made sense to me, it was this. So I'm going to draw it out for you. I don't know if you have a brain like me or not, but I think you're going to get excited because it just makes so much sense, even though it's simple. We all have dreams. Now, we all have different dreams. I had a dream. I had a huge dream. Most of us create our dreams and start our dreams when we're in grade school, junior high, high school, middle school, college, and we dream about the coolest things. Most of you guys wanted a cool car. You wanted to be able to have a bunch of cars. Not maybe all you guys, but I would guess most of you guys were into cars. Maybe some of you gals were into cars. I don't know what it was. Maybe you wanted a washer and dryer. Maybe you gals wanted a bunch of nice clothing. Maybe you just wanted to travel. Maybe you just wanted to help a lot of people. I don't know what your dream is. But I had a big dream. My wife, Julie Duncan, had a big dream. It was one of the biggest things I fell in love with her about is she was a dreamer. And that fired me up. Because most of my friends are married to people that are not dreamers. And I pray for them. And sometimes it's vice versa. I'm picking on guys or gals. But I had this big dream. And what I have found out through success, and by building this business, what I found out
She just called back
we
after
go
10,
out and get
15
a
minutes
thing
was
called
done.
an income circle. It's an income circle. And I think, I would assume that happened to you. It happened to me, it happened to Julie, and we went out and got an income circle. And we found out that our income circle didn't match our dream. So my question to you tonight, folks, is when you found that out, what did you do? Did you do anything? Did you just lay down on the couch and watch TV? Did you watch Netflix? What did you do? Did you just sit around and complain and drink beer with your other Seahawk buddies? What did you do? Well, when I saw that, because I had huge dreams all the way through grade school, junior high, high school, and college, and I was excited. And when I got out of school and realized that I wasn't making any money, and I did everything I was supposed to do. I got a good education, I went out and got a good job, and I was broke. Now maybe you were a millionaire, but I was broke. And what I started finding out is the system that we were taught was not creating the success that I wanted to have my dreams turn to reality. I found out that my income, my paycheck was not matching my dream. And I got frustrated. Maybe you won't. But there's some of you listening right now that drives you crazy. And that's why I love this business so much. Julie and I have seen everything. We've seen every opportunity you can possibly think of. I get stockbrokers, I get the stock market, I get financial transactions, I get oil, I get real estate. I get it. And I have a lot of friends that are very wealthy, but they also work 100 hours a week, and most of them are divorced, and that didn't fascinate me. And I've never seen anything that does what this does. The opportunities, the windows and doors in this business, there are many, and it's awesome. And I'll say it again, most people don't go through them. Most people quit. I find most people quit this business because there's no boss. If you don't show up at work at your boss, at your job, you get in trouble. You get threatened. You get threatened almost every day, most of you. Not all of you, but most of you. And that's why we do what we do. Well, there's no boss in this business. I'm not your boss. I have no boss. I have to be self-motivated. You know, some people sit at the athletic club weighing 350 pounds and they go, I've been coming here for 13 years and I still weigh 350 pounds. Well, you've got to do something. You've got to be motivated to do something. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I can't stop eating cereal. Well, you better find something. You better get motivated to lose the weight or you're going to eat cereal for the rest of your life. Yes, cereal is fat. It's unbelievable. So I just thought that might help you out a little bit if you didn't know that. So all these different little teeny things here, I wanted that. So here's my proposal to you. If you're following me, if you're at all like Julie and I found a business that had a big income and opportunity to create a big income. Now I want you to know, we made some great money in this business because we worked it. I took the effort at my job when I started making more money in this than my job, and I took my effort from my job and I put it in this. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. I don't want you to think that for 2 seconds because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. This business works because you work it. And that's important for you to understand that. And I found out that my dream, my income started matching my dream. And I got more excited and more excited and more excited all the time. Brad Duncan, people ask me this all the time, Brad Duncan, why do you think people don't build this? In my opinion, from what I've seen in 39 years building this, it blows my mind in the world, especially America, how many people have lost their dream? How many people get satisfied really easy? And there has to be a tornado, or there has to be some kind of terrible thing that goes on before people really realize they should have built something. I love this business because it's simple. The cool thing is, I'm going to share this with you right here. Let me erase this.
Please,
But the dream right there is the whole point. Yes, to you, hopefully it hit you as hard as it hit me 39 years ago when I was told that, shown that. Because it just makes so much sense to me. So here's another simple diagram. You really have 2 options. And here's your options, okay? So I had 2 things. This is your family, this is you or your family. And over here, you'll take your money to your store because you're an IDO and you own your own business, and you can profit from it because you have clients, which you will find is the simplest part of this business. You take your income to your store and you bring home a profit and a profit. Here's your choice. Or you will take your money from your pocket and you'll take it to the other stores, and they're all over downtown. And you're going to take your money over here and purchase something, and you'll bring home a product with no income. You'll bring no income home. So because you didn't bring any income home, you have to have a job. You have to have a career. And you have to love it, because that's what our mom and dad and everybody told us. In my opinion, I had the coolest parents in the world. I love my parents. I love Julie's parents. They're really great people. My mom and dad said, honey, you go to school and get a good education, and from your good education, go out and get a good job. Everything's going to be okay. And I believed that, so I did it. I actually found out that wasn't true. I find most people are fired up because the people that really cheer you on are the people who love you the most, like your mom and dad. Oh, my daughter is living in Seattle, and she's doing so good. She just got a new job, and we're so proud of her, and she's really happy. And if the daughter heard that, she'd probably be going, not true, not true, not true, bullcrap. And it's unbelievable. What we do, from my experience, is we get on a surfboard and we surf on our parents' cheerleading. And we keep doing it, and 4 years goes by, 8 years go by, 10 years go by, 15 years go by, 20 years goes by, and we sit around our little apartment and go, we're broke. We don't even own anything. Some of you that have a house, you say you own it, but the bank owns it, so all we do is just lie. And we lie about everything. We don't driving our dream car. We're not traveling the things we wanted to do. We're now camping, and we're all now living through other people's success. That's what I have done. Like what? Athletics, basketball, Seahawks, whoever your base football team is. Now, I like that stuff. Don't misunderstand me. I love the Seahawks. Don't misunderstand me. And so, but I just see this. I find my friends, if I could get my friends as fired up about their future as they do the Dane Seahawks, I think their life would explode. But what I find is, because they don't have any success, they're not able to be successful in their choices in life. They get excited about other people's success, and so they're blown away by Michael Jordan, and they're blown away by Tiger Woods, who are all good people, because they don't have any success. And people sit there and go, aren't you blown away by that? And I go, yeah, I'm fascinated with anybody's success. Anything you do in life, I'm proud of. And if you're excited, I'm excited for you. But you know what I'm really excited about? Julie Duncan and Brad Duncan's future. Brooke Duncan, David Duncan, Mara Duncan, and Matthew Duncan's future. That's our kids. That's what we're excited about. And so we're willing to do whatever it takes. And the truth is, and the good thing about our life, is we have tens of thousands of kids in our business, other people who have believed in this business, who have chosen to participate in this business, and have created great successes in this business, and they've literally become our kids too, because we like to help them. And there's 5 of them tonight, 5 couples here tonight. It's all the way from 26-ish, 27-ish, all the way, I think, Bob, what are you now, 72? And there's a handful of people in this thing that are really successful, that have done great things, and they all came from different backgrounds. Some live in Florida, some live in Spokane, some live in California. They're all different people, and these are not all the successful people in our business. They're the handful that we've selected here tonight to share with you. They're only going to share 10 minutes, but they're all different personalities. They all worked it very hard. They did it, I have to tell you, speaking for them, because they had a dream. And their dream was so excited, they were willing to overcome fear. They were willing to overcome skepticism. They chose not to listen to read the negative stuff on social media. They chose to read the positive stuff. And I would choose you to do the same thing. I would hope you would do that. But this is pretty cool. So the person beside you will sit down with you and go through this with you. It talks about Worldwide, the organization that educates us, that directs us, that guides us. You can participate or not participate in Worldwide. You don't have to. I would encourage you to. Amway Corporation, it shows you what Amway does for 60 plus years and all the different options that you have with them. And again, they've paid back $61 billion in profits. See, I think I'm more excited than you because I understand that you don't yet. I don't listen to my negative friends. Most of you still are. I had a friend that told me it was stupid. Well, I have tons of friends say it's stupid. The difference is I don't listen to them. And every time I see them, they go, I can't believe your life. And I go, well, because I didn't listen to you. Isn't that amazing? But I know about that money. I know about those profits. I know the trail to the safe, and I know the combination to the safe. And so Julie and I are more excited than most people because we get this. I would encourage you to take time. I would encourage you to take 3 and 4 months and see if I'm lying. If you find out I'm a con artist and I'm a liar and I'm exaggerating on things, then you wasted some time. Well, you've been doing it your whole life. That's nothing new. What if I'm right? What if I'm not lying to you? What if this business is legit? What if this business really is something that you can build? Why would you throw something away when it's staring you in the face? Most of us have been praying for something to happen in your life, and maybe you don't have the spiritual life that I have. Maybe you don't have those kind of faiths. Maybe you have the attitude of, just how come nothing ever happens? Well, ta-da, you're here tonight. You're sitting there listening to this Zoom. Hopefully you aren't getting up and going to the fridge and sitting down and going up and going to the fridge. Hopefully you don't turn this off. Hopefully you're paying attention. There's only one person in my whole life that offered this to me. And I said yes. And if I wouldn't have said yes, I'd be going to work as soon as this situation is all over with. And I'm really glad that I don't have to do that because I built this business. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And it just shows you the different ways to create the incomes that you can create by going to your own store, how you can do it online, the profitability of this business if it goes online. The person who invited you here would be called your sponsor. That person right here, again, the person who invited you on the Zoom is going to sit down with you and explain this to you in human face, but the person who invited you will be called your sponsor. They will literally help you, direct you, guide you. You fall down, they'll be there to pull you up. Here's another cool thing about this business, is you don't have to do it on your own. There's other people that will help you build that. Try to start any other business in society and see how many people want to help you. It's amazing. That's what's great about it. They'll teach you how to own your own business by doing personal use and having clients. And then they'll show you how you can sponsor other people and show them how to become an IBO and teach them how to have clients. It's pretty simple. By you just doing that one thing, by you getting involved and going and helping one person, you'll make $522 a year. I know it's not a lot of money, but how would you like to have 5 crispy $100 bills in your pocket? That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? So let's go to the next one. This is my favorite. This is the one that makes the most sense. Now, I'm just kind of ripping through this because again, the person involved is going to sit down and go through this 18 case. This right here says, this is you. Help 6 other people own their own business. Where do you find them? On 50th Street? Guys, they're everywhere. Everybody, in my opinion, is sick and tired of being broke. Everybody's looking, especially right now. It's blowing my mind. People are getting laid off. If they're not getting laid off, they're realizing there's really no security in what they have. I mean, they're living paycheck to paycheck, Friday to Friday, paycheck to paycheck. And if you want to do that, go ahead. I didn't want to do that. That's why I built this business. And I find out that there are millions and millions of people in this society that want more out of life too. They want more security. They want to be able to own their own business and be able to do things. You help 6 people do that. Help 6 people develop some clients and have 6 people that become an IBO, an independent business owner. And they'll make it an extra $4,000 a year. It says $3,924 here to be totally legal. Well, that's not a lot of money, but I'll say it again, when's the last time you got a $4,000 raise? It's more money than you think. Get excited. There's nothing wrong with getting excited. Skepticism will always destroy you. Be careful what you do. I was laying in bed last night and I started thinking, I really don't have time. I don't think it's for me. Be careful of you. Get around people that used to think like you that are now successful and ask them, why are they so successful now? How did they change their mentality instead of trying to make a decision in 24 hours, especially after you talk to your friends or your parents that don't have success behind their belt? You help these 6 people, which are these people here, and help those 6 people help 6 people. See these green people? That's the most difficult part of the business. You know why? Because there's not any green people. There's hardly any. I mean, I haven't seen green people for months. So that's the most difficult part, is having 6 green people. If you help 6 people, help 6 people. What's 6 times 6? 36. That's 36 people. Okay? You help these 6 people own their own business. Teach those 6 people how to have their clients. Help these 6 people become an IBO, and help them each help 6 people. Just as an example, some will help 100, some will help 200. I'm just saying 6. help these 6 people, help 6 people. You have to help
Yes,
clients
please.
too. If you
Yeah,
don't
yes,
have
please.
clients,
Massage oil
you
or
can't
something.
profit
I'm
from
sorry,
these 6
yeah.
people up here, these 36 people. You help 6 people, help 6
Oil na
people,
tinagaw.
you'll make $55,000 a year on an average. Okay, you wanna make more, then help more people.